All right. It's been a while. Wow. Welcome to uh episode 673. Jesus Christ. Of the Black Brain Trust. This is the Sapio-Males Guide to the Galaxy. And today we're going to talk about experience. We're going to talk about experience, man. Had a had an interesting exchange on Sheila E's panel this morning. She asked me to come up, and the conversation was about listening to men, right? And you know, and this is what I kind of extrapolate or take away from that conversation, right? There's you have people who speak from experience, and then people who speak from imagination, right? And I think you have to interact with the two types differently. Um, let's see, we only have like three. We got two, three people watching. No one's hit one yet. So does anyone hear any music in the background? Anyone? Okay, well, I guess I'll wait for somebody to see that little comment there and press one if they do. Okay. But, and I'm going to drop the link in just a minute. I'm going to, so we can have a conversation about experience. Perfect. Man, tomorrow, what's going on, MOT? China White. Hey, lady. How you doing? We're back. I told you one of these days. uh, so yeah, that's what I want to. I want to just have a open dialogue and a conversation about experience, right? Because the exchange that I had with this D Durrell guy, and this isn't about him, but it's about people who challenge you, right, based on what you say and what you say being based on your experience, right? Like you intrinsically know that, dude, you can't tell me this when I can verify this, right? And this is coming from somebody that cannot verify your experiences. Only you can, right? Because our experiences actually chisel us out. Each experience that we undergo in life is like a hammer strike, right, to the chisel. Sometimes the hammer strike is hard, right? It'll remove a lot of material. Sometimes it's a small tap. We're moving a little bit of material and we're trying to smooth and curve things out. Ultimately, our experiences are to carve us into the ideal person that we are to become. This is the reason why always acting and speaking from a place of experience is important, especially in this YouTube menu. Because conversations that occur and take place, they can take a very dangerous departure when people start to interject imaginary things, right, in conversations that should largely be based on real world, real life experiences, real data, etc. And what we find is that when we have these two different types that engage in conversation, typically there's always going to be some sort of discord or some sort of argument or some sort of disagreement, right? Instead of understanding the position of one person based on experience, right? That person may not be talking anecdotal. It's not imaginary. It's like, no, dude, I actually kind of went through this, man. And there's so many things within that scenario or that situation, man, that you just will not imagine that you would encounter. Like your experiences, they literally carve you out. They chisel you, right? Like you wear your experiences largely in one way or another, either subconsciously or consciously, right? Let's see. What the? Say you back? Yeah, we're back, bro. Lonzo, salute, fam. Let me make sure. Yeah, I got you. All right. Eric, what's going on? Welcome, brother. Oh, you know how we do over here, man. We're high post. we're high post over here, man. We got to keep it, we got to keep it jazzy and sophisticated. Mm. So yeah, um, I wanted to just kind of have an open dialogue, dude, about like how we're engaging in conversations, especially in a social media space where we're going to be talking about solutions. Well, I think that you should base a real world solution, or a real world solution should be based on a real world problem. I don't think the approach really is to approach a real problem with an imaginary solution. You can use the imagination, right, to come up with a practical solution to a very real problem. This is what you can do. But I think we run into a problem where we engage a lot of conversations in this social media realm, and they're not based in any level of realism whatsoever. It's not based on any realism at all. Perfect example. um you have like the Cynthia G type or whatever, or these women that go around saying, hey, you should terminate black babies or black boys. Okay. um I guess in theory, right, in theory, I guess that would, if they feel it would serve their purpose. Oh, my phone is going off. Shit. um However, when we give it further thought, you would literally be eradicating yourself. So you're advocating for your own destruction, right? And this is where seriously engaging people who don't think rationally, or don't really, they're not speaking from a basis of realism, right? This is a problem, man. We have to be more true to ourselves, even if you're in a social media space, even if there's an avatar, right, instead of like your actual picture. Okay. Even if all of these things, like, you see complex design there, I don't that's not some alter ego of mine. My name is Ulysses, dude. Like, that is the name of my old electric vehicle company. I'm being very real and very very realistic with you, right? So what you see is literally what you get from me, even with an avatar. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're back, man. We never went anywhere, man. It's just the reality is, man, we've gotten extremely busy, man. And like on the last few live streams, I actually did show some of the stuff that we've got going on. Um, Actually, you know what? I'll show you. I'll show you some. I can show you guys this. Hold on. Let me. I'll show you guys. Uh, I'll show you a prototype electric bike that we just completed. Actually, it's done. Alonzo, Alonzo, he's seen it. But let me do this. Oh wait, I'll show you what I mean, dude. Because I'm dead serious when I say we've been like we're actually like busy. Because this is like some real stuff here. Your midnight streams were legendary. Man, you know what, dude? The problem is I'm working at night nowadays. You know what I mean? So that's where it gets hard. So I actually have time today because I have a conference call that got pushed back till like 1:30. So now I'm freed up. And given that I was on Sheila E's panel, I did want to address like just some of the stuff, dude, that you know that happened in conversation there. I was just like, man, dude, yeah, this is weird, man. This is very weird. But yo, my Mega Montana, what's going on? Peace, bro. Yeah, I mean, we're back, but we never went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to show you guys, like, actually, um, what what's been going on here. So give me just a moment. Oh, there we go.
Salute, salute. What's up, brother?
Yo, Alonzo, what it do, man?
Doing all right. Once I heard that prototype, I was like, all right, let me come up. Yes,
Yep.
I have seen it.
Yep.
Yes, it is amazing. Yes, man. Can I drop a bomb on him?
Go ahead, dude. Say whatever you guys say. Because we all speaking from experience here, bro. So yeah.
I am going to friggin' sell this thing.
Yeah. Well, dude, honestly, you got a lot to do with this bike. Okay. Real talk.
I'm definitely going to be selling this thing.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. What's going on, MOT?
MOT, up, salute, brother.
What's going on, man?
Good. We good, man. You know, we're just having a little open panel conversation about speaking from a position of experience.
Complex, you're Borgin. I don't know if it's me.
No, I heard him clear.
Okay.
I heard.
Yeah, I'm on my sim rig right now, so my connection should be good to go. What you got on the MOT?
I mean, it's a hard subject because a lot of people are trying to be right rather than speak from a position of experience. Now I hear like an echo. I hear myself echo.
You hear an echo?
I hear myself echo.
Yeah, I hear it when you speak.
Okay, I don't hear an echo or anything. Try the sound now. How's everybody sounding?
All right,
testing.
Yeah, I don't hear an echo. You guys sound good.
Okay, all right. Eric, work with it.
Yo, Eric.
Hey, Eric, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to test your audio to see if we're getting an echo anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So yeah, MOT, go ahead, bro. Speak on it.
Yeah, it's just that here in this space. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not echoing now. So whatever happens.
Okay, here, let me do this. I think it might be my audio. Let me do this. I'm gonna just come down on the audio.
Yeah, I'm hearing serious Borg.
Okay, how about if I do this? What about now?
They trying to bring us down.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
What?
Yo, hey, how about you do this? Hey, I'm gonna post a link. Drop down and come back up. Because I hear you guys perfectly fine.
Oh, okay. I mean, I hear myself perfectly fine now too. So
yeah, it seems like it stopped.
Yeah,
maybe it was the background music.
No, it's fine. It's just that. Here's the thing, man. People are online to get the experience. Mm-hmm. So rather than just listen to the people talk who have the experience, what they really do is they just decide that their opinion and point of view is more important than the people who actually have the experience itself. And that's kind of what happens.
Right.
And that's why I just kind of fell back from a lot of this. Because there's no need for me to talk or be talking or do anything else here if the conversation is continuously going to be weighed down with individuals who have no experience at all, but want to be up here talking the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, you really can't get ahead if the professionals can't speak from a position. And they're like, you know what? I want your position, but I don't want the experience of what you're actually talking about. So it's like, so why are we up here even talking, or what's the actual position and point? Because for most people who are talking, the only thing they want to do is to stop the conversation from happening in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you have like a whole bunch of, party crashers who continuously jump up on panels to stop the conversation from happening, because they have nothing to contribute in society and life. So the only thing that they can do is go other places to stop the actual progressive conversation from happening, because they don't have a place in the world where things actually move forward. They're trying to cement their place by being stuck and stagnant, and that's just where we are. So.
Okay.
MOT, real quick, is that a dark lavender suit jacket? And if so, I'm gonna need your stylist, because I need that.
No, that's gray. No, that's gray. That's stripe gray.
Okay, I was about to say, my man came out with the lavender jacket. And look, I got to definitely step my game up.
Yeah.
All right,
But
I'll
that's
show
where
you.
we're at though with it. You know. All right, go ahead.
Hold on. No, I was gonna say, let
Sorry,
me
go ahead.
see if you guys can see this right here. See that?
Yes.
All right. So this is the prototype e-bike that is complete. It's a super. We went for a super minimalist design, right? So it looks like a regular bike, but this is actually an electric bike. If you guys notice the motors right here, right? The electric motors here. There is an electronic dash here, right? The wire tuck, you can't really tell the wires, right? How they're running, and the battery is actually in the saddle pack right here. So we built a minimalist mid-drive electric bike. So this bike will do like depending on how it's geared and how and what the speed mode is the controller's programmed to. This bike will probably do like 35, 40 miles an hour and get you like 20 miles based on the battery that's in there. So we're actually gonna we were gonna release this under the Complex Design name, but then I was told that my name is tarnished in these YouTube streets, and we shouldn't do it. So we're gonna call it something else. But just to show you, this is the shop. This is our shop right here, and we speak from experience when we tell you that a lot of the things that we've espoused on this channel has a lot to do with what we do from a professional standpoint. So it's like, man, it's just like what MOT was saying. It's like, it's a bit, I find it like intellectually dishonest, and there's like an inherent level of disrespect when you literally try to downplay something that somebody can speak on from experience, and they can literally give you all of the nuts and bolts. Okay, that's not, you're not having a conversation in good faith, right? And in good intellect. You're not doing that when you literally try to dispel what it is that people literally do or have literally experienced. We can't like excuse this type of intellectual dishonesty, especially if we're going to be grown ass men in this quote unquote manosphere. We should be able to speak from our chest and speak firmly and directly based on knowledge that we've acquired, not some hypothetical bullshit. Anybody else got anything on that?
I definitely concur.
Yeah. But people want to like. It's kind of like a ranking structure and system. You know, they within their personal life and they don't have the ranking structure and system. They come to an actual place that's very specific, and they want to exercise their household ranking structure and system everywhere else. Like, okay, I run my household. I do this. I do that. I'm gonna come here to a specialized place and try to sabotage, or what's another term, corrupt it to be what I normally am within my environment, because inside my house I don't need to be an expert on anything to have my opinion on anything. But it's like, okay, so you come to a specific space where we're supposed to be bringing men forward, and the only people who want to speak is the people who don't have the experience. And like you said, it's a level of disdain and disregard for the people who have experience, which shouldn't be. No, I
You would
give out
think
the
it's the
experience,
opposite, right?
yeah, but they're trying to solidify their voice and not having experience as the actual voice of experience. I'm like, that's not what we're doing here.
Yeah,
It's like me trying to write a book on parenting, yet I have no
you ain't
children.
yeah, right? It's like the people who try to speak on like marriage and all that, and they don't have any experience to point to.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? I'm for no, dead ass. What are we doing here? What up, Zero? Shit, what's going on, G?
We got
For real,
him
for real.
in the building. Salute. Oh, my man, Absalom in the building. Zero in
Yeah.
the building. What's up, fellas?
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a while, man. I used to miss when he used to go live and drag dudes.
I used to be there dragging them with him.
He would just be and he would go logically, and then to hear his voice, he'd be like, the idiocy of some of these guys. It's just so fucking funny.
I mean, that's just the worst. It's the worst thing to watch, right? Especially when you're amongst men and you guys we're supposed to be discussing
Mm.
like solutions to issues that I guess we are all agreeing we see from a cultural standpoint, right? We all agree we see it. However, right, it's all of the muck and the mire, right, that clouds it all instead of like us, being firm,
Hmm.
right, having set standards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Oh yeah.
that's that to me. Engaging with other brothers when it comes to business on a social, that's a deal breaker, bro. Like if you can't adhere to some set standards, man, and you're kind of just free game for whatever the fuck, I can't have you around me, man. You're a liability.
Yeah.
The
But
same
check
goes
this
with
out.
women. It's like it's universal when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. But check this out. I don't know if you brothers are familiar with Brother Ali. He's a rapper, but he's a hip hopper. But what he
Yeah, brother
says,
Ali.
yeah,
Hmm.
you know Brother Ali.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I love that brother, man. I love the way he raps, man. And what he says in one of his bars or one of his songs, he says, "You can't lead where you won't go. You can't teach what you don't know. We ain't gonna take it no more." Meaning that, hey, if you ain't willing to lead, you ain't willing to put skin in the game that you're talking about, just shut the fuck up. Okay? If you are trying to teach somebody about something about family, something about the human condition,
Hmm.
social dynamics, and you talking about patriarchy, and you ain't never lived through it, shut the fuck up, because
Right,
you can't hearken for something that you've never experienced, that you've never lived through.
right.
And I'm sorry, and I have to say that there's never been really any real patriarchy, not in the United States of America, and not really in the Western Hemisphere for a few centuries, you know. And that whole idea of patriarchy, it starts from the patriarch. It starts from the church. You're talking about the elder member of the church, okay? He runs that church, and the people in the village, okay, that associate with that church, yeah, he guides them, he leads them, but he doesn't have absolute rule over them either,
No.
you know?
Mm.
So I mean, don't talk to me about, oh, we want to we want a patriarchal society. Do you really want that? Because I'm gonna tell you this. You talk about how much brothers are stressing out about trying to accommodate women and this, that, and the other, protecting them and this, that, and the other. If you live in a true patriarchal system, that means that even when you get married, everything is on you. If your wife gets out of line, it's because you out of line. If your children get out of line, it's because you out of line. Your reputation alone carries the whole family. Nobody else has any reputation. Nobody else has any character but you. So everybody's looking at you, and you're gonna take on all that on your own, and you ain't gonna get no help if you really want to live in a patriarchal society. It is what it is. That's what the history
Wow.
books say.
What was that, Alonzo?
No, I just said wow. From that breakdown, if your wife gets out of line, it's you. Your kids get
Yeah,
out of line, it's you. And that's
yeah.
wow.
Well, okay,
You don't get no help.
but that's
You
facts
get
though.
You get no help. You get no help. At least in the system that we live in now, even if you want to call it a matriarchy, okay, fine. I got no problem with wifey running things in the house, okay? If wifey is doing most of the cooking and most of the grocery shopping, yeah, she buys what the hell she wants with the money she got. And now, if I don't like some things, or if I prefer her to buy some things, my wife does all the time. She asks me, "Is there any
Anything
arrogance?
you
I'm
want from the
going
store?
shop. Anything you want from the store? Anything
Hmm.
special you want?" And I usually tell her, "No, I don't want anything special." And then sometimes, every once in a while, I'll say, "Okay, well, get a bag of almonds, get a bag of cashews, or get a trail mix bag, because that's just
Hmm.
expensive over here." So she said, "Okay."
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is trail
Hmm.
mixing and all that stuff that has to do with with natural unsalted
Oh,
cashews
like
and
raw.
Okay.
raw like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's expensive over here, man. You
Wow.
know,
Okay. Didn't know
and
that.
I mean, and even the salted ones. Now I like salted peanuts, so I buy it for myself. My wife doesn't like it so much, but if I buy a package, I told my wife, I told my wife this. I said, listen, from the time when we first got married, especially when we first got younger, I said, listen, anything that's consumable, that's digestible or drinkable that I bring into this crib is for everybody
Mhm.
because that's just the way it is. Okay, you can't keep shit to yourself like that unless you say, okay, this is for me, this is mine, especially. But if that's the case, then you keep it to yourself anyway. And especially if you got youngins, you don't even let them see it. So they ain't gonna ask you for it because they don't know you got it. If that's the case, But usually, what I do is I say, well, whatever I buy, bring it to the house. Okay, it's for the whole house, and even for our guests if they want some. If we invite guests over for dinner, for coffee, or whatever the case may be, they can get some too. But when it runs out, then it runs out until I get money enough to replace it. Otherwise, you just gotta wait. That's all.
Well, I think what happens in this in this, let's do this, let's pivot, because Eric, what you're speaking to is experience, right? The
Yeah,
very thing that happens, let's say like with you and your wife when she goes to the store, right? That's an
right.
actual thing,
Yeah, it is.
right? That's an actual thing. So you're speaking from experience, whereas you have a lot of conversations that'll happen with regards to why it is that we need to have a patriarchy in the home or what have you. Now, here's
Yeah.
the thing about that. It's not something I disagree with, right? Because fact of the
Mhm.
matter is, when I was married, I led my home,
Right.
right?
Of
I
course.
led my home. I had to care for my wife and my child when my wife was ill.
But
Okay.
did you run your home with an iron fist, though?
Well, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like, and I think this is where I think this. Yeah, let me address that, because I think there's, for whatever reason,
Hmm.
there's an assumption that if a man leads the home, it has to be done that way, right? With
Yeah,
an iron fist. Whereas
and
this
it
is
doesn't have to
why,
be.
what I'm saying, this is why I've done the whole sapiosexual shit.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
see, I think that as mature adults, right, who have the capacity for intelligence, who
Hmm.
have a high level of emotional intelligence, okay,
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
once we're in that realm, we're not doing low level shit,
Nope.
right? I don't need an iron fist. Listen, it's
Hmm.
like this, right? Men intrinsically understand that when they get married to a woman, they basically just handed her a sword that she can hang over your head, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. I would say though that the ultimate and the final shit test for a woman is when you offer that up, and you know what she does? She hands you the sword back and says, "You know what? I would rather you use it than me. You're the one who's supposed to use it, not me."
Right. Yeah,
Now, once we've hit that level, I think we've now moved on beyond the realm, right, of combative relationships.
I
And now
agree.
we're dealing with one of cooperation. Go
Beat
ahead,
it to the
Alonzo, you got
bar,
it.
bro.
Well, from experience, actually, I'll use a little experience that I have. So, for the example, I work on 100% commission. Let's look at things like earnings and men rolling with an iron fist, because generally,
Hmm.
it's assumed the man, when you command the lion's share of salary, you make those rules.
Hmm.
I lead my household, and my wife is very, very uh, cognizant of that. So much so, now she earns on a regular basis more than I do, but I can earn her entire salary in one deal. Um,
Right.
so it's here nor there. But even things like, for example, her mother, which is my mother-in-law,
Hmm.
has a similar relationship where she out earns, not outworks, but out earns her husband. And she runs that household. But when it comes to my household, simple things like my mother in law wants to come over and visit. My wife will say, okay, you want to come over this weekend? Yeah, well, I'm cool with it, but I have to ask my husband.
There you go. There you go. And it
Um,
goes both ways too.
It's isn't that just called consideration?
well,
Yep. Common courtesy. Common
Common
courtesy.
courtesy, consideration.
Hmm.
It's just you know you do
I mean,
you do
I mean,
cohabitate.
Right.
coexist with this person, I would also
Mhm.
think that you would consider them, right, in
Right.
the decisions that you make, and vice versa,
Right. And
right?
consider their comfort too.
Well,
Exactly.
Mhm.
yeah. And if they're doing the same for you, what we're doing
Mhm.
is we're taking each other's um, we're taking each other's peace of mind into consideration, right? I don't want
Right.
to disturb yours, you don't disturb mine. That's called reciprocity.
Right.
Indeed.
Okay, it's not.
Reciprocal altruism, even.
Yeah, and I'm saying we're saying this shit because what? We're speaking from experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right.
Yes.
See, so what we're saying is not some fucking hypothetical bullshit. It's not.
Mm-mm.
And then my underlying issue is that when we speak, when we were able to dive that deep to speak
Mhm.
to the interpersonal dynamics of it,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that's not hypothetical. You know we're speaking from experience,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So don't fucking challenge us with some hypothetical. But what if,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
if, what if
I mean,
she's,
you
what if
could what
she's,
you
and it's just like, wait a minute, dude. Like, let's deal with the reality of things, right? Because you're bringing up something that's not actually reflective of the experiences that I'm speaking from.
hmm
Exactly.
And this is why I tell people when I talk about things, I talk about what is. There's no need to be speculating because speculation speculation would worry me to death. If I had to speculate what's going to
Oh
happen
God.
5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, okay, yes, we're aiming toward becoming prosperous. Yeah, monetarily. Yeah, materialistically. But at the same time, we don't worry about that so much that if we know the bills are paid, the house is ours, the cars are ours,
Hmm.
you know, the educational fees, okay, yeah, but that's on us if our kids don't get a full ride, when they're going to college, whatever the balance is, we pay it because we want them to go. We want them to have that level of education if it's going to be useful for them to prosper. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. No, absolutely. And it's um, hmm. Eric, and
Mm-hmm.
Alonzo, it's like a lot of people haven't, they have not had, I guess you could say, the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
that type of relationship with another person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's hard. It's this is where listening to people who
Yeah.
have experience becomes key,
Right.
right?
And you know what? I empathize with them because a lot of times I tell them, I say, hey, the way I grew up, and being a child, being an infant of the '60s, a child of the '70s, a lot of the stuff that I tell them, a lot of stuff that y'all are talking about, even in the hood, I saw some of that stuff, but at the same time, I was pulled away from it. I was sheltered from it. I have to say, the public school system, I was sheltered from that in general because my mother and father invested in private education for me, and I went to primarily parochial school. Damn it, I went to a Lutheran kindergarten. You hear what I'm
Wow.
saying? I mean,
Hmm.
so you know,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I went to the Episcopalian elementary school from grade what? From grade 1 to grade 4, you know? Even in high school, I went to an all boys Catholic school in Harlem on West 129th Street in Lexington and Lenox Avenue. It's now closed. But you know what? Other students there, when we used to stand detention like idiots because somebody break the dress code or whatever case may be, and that's usually the length, the severity of the violation. Somebody's wearing something that they know is against the dress code, but they wear that in the hood, so they figure they're gonna try and get away with it walking up in school. When in Rice High School, there's a dress code: dress shoes, dress trousers,
Hmm.
nice shirt. You ain't gotta wear a tie or jacket, but nice, nice shirt, nice sweater over the shirt. That's how you dress there, like you're on a college campus somewhere,
Yeah.
at some Ivy League school. That's how they want you dressing in high school. Okay? That's the code. You break the code, you stand attention for an hour after school like an idiot because you can't do shit but stand there.
Right.
You know, you know? And I remember that the administrator though, the one that supervised the detention sessions, I remember he said, you know what? It's a damn shame that you guys you don't have the maturity to follow the rule. You don't have the discipline enough to follow the rules so that you don't have to come here and look at my ugly mug,
Yeah.
watching you stand here for an
Stand
hour.
there. You don't think I got better things to do?
Exactly. I mean, you can't even do your homework. Even if you get a chance to sit down because you got an ailment with your legs or whatever, okay, with your knees or whatever, or with your feet or whatever, you can't stand up. Still, when you sit down, you still can't read no book. You can't do no homework in here. This is the idiot room. This is the
It's
idiot
the
hour.
dunce corner.
Yeah.
In the
You
corner, you
know.
dunce. Put the little dunce cap
Yeah.
on.
And then he said, what makes it so bad though is that we actually have young men in here who pay their own tuition to come here.
To stand in detention.
Well, I mean, most of the guys that pay their own tuition, I think it's very rare that they're in detention. But
They
every
were
once in a
there,
while
right?
they're there. But
But
every once in a
yeah, if
while
their shit was
they're there.
paid
Yeah.
for by their parents.
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly.
hold on. Hey, Miss Reigning Woman, you there?
Hi,
Hey, what's up?
greetings.
Hello.
Greetings,
Complex Design, the Black Brain Trust, Alonzo. I'm
Eric.
not sure who.
This is
Eric,
Eric.
okay. Hi,
Hmm.
Eric and everyone.
Nice to
Hey,
Listen,
meet you.
I was roaming around the YouTube streets, and
Uh-huh.
yes, I was running around the YouTube streets, and I had left the hood. I had left the hood.
uh-oh.
You left the hood of the YouTube streets, is what you're saying?
Yes, I left the hood of the I left the hood, and I saw that there was some sapiosexuals having a dialogue. So I had to, gather my books and fix my dress and everything and come on over.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you for coming over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you know how we do over here, Miss Reigning Woman. Conversations are always going to be on a higher level, right? So what we're hoping to do here is literally speak realistically and intelligently about this shit, right? Because
Mhm.
problems are meant to be solved, and applying intelligence, a higher level of intelligence
Ooh, talk
than the
sexy
level
to
of
me. Yes, talk sexy to me.
oh my god. But
Oh,
but
she's
uh,
smart.
but
She's flirting now.
approaching a problem with a higher level intelligence than
Mhm.
what created it typically is what's going to lead you to the solution. This is
Agreed.
not rocket science.
Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed,
Yeah,
yes.
this is why I'm like, okay, maybe we should, since I got the time, let's talk about it, because I'm very sick and tired of us feigning intelligence in favor of something lesser
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
address a problem. I'm sick and tired of it.
Mhm.
Mhm. I understand. As well as you should be, and that's
Mhm.
fine. That is allowed. So I'll be here, and I will participate where I can participate, and where I can't, I will do some active listening.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
No,
Thank you
Mhm.
for
we're here.
having
We're
me.
just yeah, no problem. Well, Miss Randy Woman, come on, you've been here since day one.
Now you stop that simping. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot where I was.
Oh, you calling me a simp? Is that what you just did?
Oh, no, you did just say that. I thought you said you
No,
left
no,
the
no.
hood of
That
these
that
YouTube
Yes,
streets.
I forgot where I was.
mm, mm, you're gonna cause some trouble.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So what is the current topic? Let me see. Experience.
Experience. Yeah,
Okay.
we're talking about when we're in this black. I just call it black YouTube. I don't because it's not manosphere whatever. I call it black YouTube.
I call it ghetto
Yeah.
tube. Carry
You
on.
know. Well, I mean, no. Well, it's like okay, certain venues can be a bit ghetto, right? Other
Yes.
ones not so much. It's all kind of black YouTube because some people that mess with the intelligence venues also kind of get their ratchet on too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I noticed
That's
this,
true
right?
too. Yeah.
Whereas, and then you got some people who are more centered on, let's say, one lane. They might just be more about like the business, the intelligent discussions,
Mhm.
those type of panels. Everybody kind of has like their flavor, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Finish.
But
Yeah.
but regardless of what venue, as soon as the conversation comes to solutions,
Mm.
I'm in my head, right? I'm thinking,
Hmm.
okay, so we need to crack this nugget with intelligence. Or am I wrong?
No, you're
Well,
right.
okay, but it depends on where you are. Because if I may interject my opinion here,
Go ahead.
solution conversations are boring unless you are in a solution oriented circle.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with you on that
Yeah.
because it turns out to be that way. That's been my
Hmm.
experience too on these YouTube street panels.
And solutions don't, when you're really having a solution oriented conversation or a solution focused conversation, there is more control, more balance, and less drama.
Hmm.
So, if that is the kind of dialogue that you want to have, then you must be mindful of where you are, or be sure that you're in that type of place, that type of channel, so that you don't get caught up in the proverbial circular conversation, which is a time and energy waster. Now, if that's what you got to do for your time being, for the day or whatever, you got that kind of time and energy to give to that, then cool, but don't have any other expectation and then get upset when your expectation is not met.
Well,
Mm.
and to that, I would say, Rainy Woman, if you've got time for that, then that means you also have time for something more productive.
But everyone's not going to
Okay,
choose that.
that's fine, and that's fine, and so I guess I guess um again, if we're gonna talk solutions, then I would say if that's going to be the level of participation that you have in conversations like that, perhaps you shouldn't join those.
Mm.
Right.
I would
Perhaps you
agree.
shouldn't join conversations about how to actively solve issues that directly impact us if you're not going to take the conversation seriously. It's not for you.
But now, if I may play devil's advocate, may I?
Sure, sure.
It is the channel holders
This is true too.
responsibility
This is
to
true too.
make sure that the conversation stays that way and to allow only those that will contribute to the conversation going in that direction.
This is true.
It's not yours.
Agreed.
It's not mine.
No, that you're right, because that's exactly what we do here. I have a reputation for kicking fools off the panel when they act up over here.
Well, I have a reputation of just not letting you on my panel.
Well, no. Well, after I kick you off, after you done shown your ass over here, and you can't operate and compose yourself with with some composure, you're
Yes.
out of here and don't come back.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Ask who's his name, the David Johnson, the anus or whatever he calls himself.
David
Ask,
Johnson.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the anus, and then ask Platinum Elite. Ask all them dudes. They've been
Mhm.
banished, never to come back.
Mhm.
Right?
Wow.
Because if you can't hold frame as a man and have intelligent conversation over here, get the hell on.
Yes. I concur. I believe I have witnessed a few folks get escorted out of the building.
Yeah, yep. You seen it,
Mhm.
right? And how
Yeah.
how and me doing that here is the same way I do in real life,
Yeah.
Yes.
man to
Mhm.
man. Like, yo, if you can't keep up, bro, you got to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and if I may add to that as well, is that will all when you do that, that also helps the moderators to stay in the same path, the same direction, because they can then monitor the chat room for detractors
Hmm.
and put them in timeout, give them a few seconds, a couple of minutes to regroup, so that they're not becoming disrespectful.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
if the channel holder does not maintain that position or take that responsibility serious, then the moderators will not take it serious either. And
Right.
therefore, neither should the panel. Like,
Yeah.
don't let yourself get all worked up into a tizzy because you have an expectation of someone and the expectation is unfair because it is yours and not theirs.
This is true.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, you may as well if you're going into If you're going onto somebody's channel, onto someone's panel, and you hear the conversation, and you hear that people are just like they're going on a diatribe, or you hear two young men going at each other, or younger men, the older man, and you see it's getting out of line, and that's not for you. Then it's just time to leave.
Mhm.
And if you're a channel a content creator yourself, then you realize you say, oh wow, no, I'm not let that happen on my channel, and you don't let it happen on your channel. And
Right.
that way when the people come in, they start getting out of line. You can tell them, hey, listen, nah, this ain't happening. Hey, it ain't happening over here. I'm not having it. Oh, but you're a dictator. Yes, it's my
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I am
dictate my
actually.
channel the way I want to because I'm responsible. Okay,
Yes.
with great authority comes great responsibility. I'm not getting my channel stricken because y'all want to say some out of the line nonsense.
Some wild stuff, right?
Yeah, I ain't having that here. I'm not sacrificing my channel for you. My channel is open for you to come in, and if I have an open panel, you can come up on the panel.
Hmm.
But hey, listen, stay along with what we're talking about. You can disagree. That's not a problem. But don't come over here screaming and hollering, and
Mhm.
start talking about bitch niggas and all that type of stuff like that.
Yeah, you
I
weak.
ain't having it.
What I'm hearing is a bunch of weak men, this and that. When
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, that's not the way to go about this. It really isn't and again, I'm gonna take real world experience, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
In the real world, that's not how you go about solving a problem with someone, now is it?
Right.
Nope.
In the real world, that's not how you solve a problem on the job,
Nope.
right? That in the real world, that's not how you solve a business problem or come up with a business
That's right.
solution. In
And
Mhm.
if
in
you
in
and it,
every aspect of the real world, that is not how you go about doing shit.
That's right.
Right.
And even if you in the hood dealing with the thugs, okay, you don't deal with that either. You don't run your mouth a whole lot either, because you might get your head knocked off for real and permanently just for doing that. So I
Hmm.
mean, that's experience from life in the hood. So I mean, even if you're not involved in the game, okay, if
Mhm.
you're not involved in the game, keep your nose out of it, okay. Unless you're really legitimately trying to stop what's going on in the game because you see it's hurting your community, unless you're willing to do that and put skin in the game on that for real, okay, keep your nose out.
Yes.
Mind your business and walk the other way.
That is so true. If I might add, apparently I came to add, y'all. So we're just gonna call me the calculator today. I'm adding.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Rating calculator.
Sounds good.
But in Alonzo Hall's terms, I am the interest.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I,
Okay.
I come to bring the interest.
Hmm.
But also in real life experience, you don't just let people come just anyone into your home,
That's true.
especially around your family, right?
Hmm.
You're right.
And for those that do enter your home, you don't let people come to your house and in your domain and just let them do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say because that's just who they are.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Unless
Mhm.
you're being passive or unless you feel like you have to just appease. Okay, unless you're being the weakest link, unless you're subjugating yourself to them,
Oh
being
yeah.
subservient. But if you're not being subservient, which, different levels, different people, different things. So this is not about putting anyone down, anything. If you're just calling a thing a thing.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I see
unless
not.
you're the subservient type, you're not going to allow that. I mean, I
No.
don't expect to come to Complex Designs home and be able to, he's trying to work on stuff, because sidebar, the Black Brain Trust actually does work. They actually work on projects. They don't just do content on YouTube. Like there's more to the
Oh,
Black Brain Trust
We
than
showed
that.
him. I
oh,
showed him. I showed
I'm
him
aware
something
of it.
earlier. I showed him something
Really?
earlier that we were working on. I showed him something.
Mhm.
So yes, so complex design is trying to work on something in the garage. He's been ever so kind to let Rainy Woman visit his place while I'm in Cali, right? And
Mm.
then I'm just like, I'm going to go into the garage and I'm going to start taking things off the wall, have no idea what is what, right? Just no
Yeah.
idea. And instead of trying to be of any assistance, I'm going to take this off and ask questions. He's got deadlines to meet. He didn't even have to let me come over.
Right.
Complex, what is this? Well, what does this do? Why are you doing that? Ooh, you make a lot of noise. Let me put, oh, I don't like that music. What you listening to? Let me put, that's not gonna
He's
work for
coming in
me.
rearranging shit.
Oh,
Damn.
Right,
ooh,
right.
that would hurt my ears if I was complex.
Oh, dude, I'm so set in my ways, bro. Like that so wouldn't work with me. I got my methodology, man. Hey,
Mhm.
but look, you guys carry the conversation. I'm gonna step away for just a second. I gotta just take a quick phone call. Okay.
Okay,
All
You guys
that's
right.
got it, bro. You're
fine.
good. You're good. You guys are good.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I get what you're saying, man. Because I've seen my father on one occasion escort his brothers, right, his younger brothers, both of them 6 feet tall, lean, muscular, and everything,
Mhm.
wearing their naturals and what have you. But he said, "Hey, listen, it was my birthday, right?" And
Mhm.
so what happened was Pops was going to take me out. We was going to go hang out, perhaps go to a restaurant, get dinner, and maybe we go to a nice lounge or something like that, hang out, have a couple of drinks, rap, that type of thing, right?
Mhm.
And so my uncles, basically what happened was my uncles, they got jealous of that. Oh, what is it? Is it Eric's day? Is it Eric's day? And my father said, no, it ain't no Eric's day. It's his birthday, and I, as his father, I'm taking him out, and we're gonna go out and have a good time tonight. That's what's happening, and we're starting right here, and make sure that his gear is right. And if his gear ain't right, I got some gear. I got some gear that he can borrow at least for the night, and we're gonna go out fly, and then we're gonna step out and have a good time. Now you all
Hmm.
come with us, but if you're gonna be respectful, you can come with us. But your attitude right now, you're out of line. You're all shouting and whatnot. I mean, really? You're that jealous of my son? He's my
Hmm.
son. You
Mhm.
understand? And it's his birthday, and I'm celebrating it with him. Plain simple, straight up and down. If y'all don't like that, y'all know what the door is. Don't let hit you in the ass on the way out.
Hmm.
And they got offended by that, right? He said, "Okay, all right, all right, all right. Damn it, get out." So his eyes got so wide, they about to come out his head. Get out.
Wow. I can speak to a similar situation that happened like that
Uh,
earlier this year. It wasn't to me, but it was to
uh,
my brother-in-law. So he
right.
just got married this year.
Uh-huh.
And, years in the past, I've been with his sister for 13 years now.
Right.
But, it's almost like we were always married because it was just since day one. But
Right.
he used to never understand when I would be like, yeah, I know I'm going to hang out, but I got to check in with your sister and I'm not staying out. Like I used to tell them, I have a curfew. I don't stay out the house past 11 p.m.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay.
the warden master got you in check? No. What is out here for me after 11 p.m.? I have a whole woman at home. There's nothing out here for me
Mhm.
after 11 p.m.
Hmm. That's
Mhm.
So he
right.
didn't understand that until recently. After he got married, he has his son. So he was at home, and a
Hmm.
friend of ours who we used to hang out with in Brooklyn, we
Hmm.
both moved from Brooklyn to here in Connecticut,
Right.
had come to visit him. And when the friend came to visit him, he was all sorts of inebriated.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so he stayed there for maybe an hour after coming from all the way in New York to deep out in Connecticut.
Hmm.
And my brother calls me and he's like, yo, I almost put hands on my best friend.
Hmm.
And I was like, why? He said, he's single, he's acting wild, he's doing stuff that we used to do when I used to live in the basement and we was single and we could, we was in our 20s and we was running around doing dumbness. And he was like, "Hey, man, what you talking about? And you don't want to hang out no more?" And he didn't realize, bro, he's married with
Hmm.
children now. You can't do the same things you used to do. He was like, I got a 1-year-old son and you're doing all this wild stuff. I am about to kill you. Get away from my son. And so he
Yeah.
drove him all the way from Norwalk to New York City. And just dropped him as soon as he got into Manhattan. He said, get out my car. Don't ever call me. And he was like, bro, I can't. I'm with you now. I only hang with other married men. I told him he doesn't have to go that far, but you got to be selective.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be selective, very selective about the single men that you hang out with, even if they're your boys. Because I see the thing about it is this. I remember my wife, right? When we got married, right? It was there was one young lady, beautiful tall young lady. Um, she had big bright eyes too. I love to see women with big bright eyes. But anyway, that's just a sidebar. But they were really good friends, But I noticed how they used to use each other too when they went to the club and whatnot. I noticed how they used to compete with each other on the dance floor, even though they were roommates in the same apartment. I saw this shit and I called it out. And my wife was like, so you noticed that, huh? Yeah. I said, why do you let her use you like that? Well, I mean, she's my friend. We're roommates. No. Y'all grown ass women, though, aren't you? I said, why do you allow that to happen? Well, she's my friend. Okay, well, fine. After we got married, right? I said, well, why are you giving up your friends now? For you. I said, well, wait a minute, time out. While I appreciate that you curbing your activities with your single friends, okay, I can appreciate that. But it doesn't mean you have to give them up entirely. I mean, if they're talking about you doing something out of line with them, I can see you cutting them off straight away. But don't just cut them off because you're married to me. I'm not that paranoid. I'm not that jealous. I'm not that worried like that. You know, I do trust you. I trusted you enough to marry you. So, you know, unless I see you acting shady towards me, especially during the intimate hours, even if we're not having coitus, but I hug up on you, spoon style or whatever, and you like flinching and moving away, then I want to know what's going on.
That's
You
what that's a
you know,
sign.
you understand? You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes,
That's a
yes, yes,
I ain't
sign
yes,
saying
right
yes,
nothing out of
there.
line, am
yes.
I?
No, no,
You
no.
know,
You're right.
so if something like that's happening, and I consider that to be an extreme problem in our relationship, but if ain't nothing like that going on, I mean, y'all go out somewhere, you go and you have dinner or something like that, or maybe y'all will go to a club for a couple of hours. Maybe y'all will go to the movies, and after you go to the movies, you'll go hang out at one of the girls' crib. You have a little wine or something like that. I ain't worried about that, you
Right.
know. Just it's like my wife used to say to me, you know, go where you go, do what you do, but give me a call. Let me know what's happening. Let me know where you are. Let me know you're okay, and just let me know. If you're going to get a beer after you play basketball with the fellas at the gym on Sunday evening, then just let me know. Hey, babe, I'm going to stop over to the pool hall. We're going to shoot a couple games. We're going to have a beer too, and then I'll be home. Like
Let
that.
me speak to that, Eric, man, because
Yeah.
when I was married, and this
Mhm.
is a lot of the things that I talk about with the sapiosexual shit, right? When
Yeah.
I always speak to compatibility, because I put that above all else, right? Everyone
Mhm.
else wants to talk about numbers, right?
Yeah.
Who's a 10, a 9, a 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Or zero
Right.
even. Shout out
Mhm.
to zero. But not to conflate zero with a woman who rates
Right.
as a zero. Never mind. But I'm saying though, I do the compatibility thing,
Yeah.
right? Because when we're talking compatibility, like it means just that the person is compatible with you, your quirks, your idiosyncrasies, all that kind of
Mhm.
shit, and vice versa,
Right.
right? So
Mhm.
they feel as though as that for the type of things you might be into or the type of things that you might need, you actually fit them in the sense that they kind of need like the same thing from you. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
so for
Yeah.
example, um, this was mainly when I was doing the music thing back in the day when I was producing and DJing a lot. And
Uh-huh.
like me and the homie would be in the studio and like if you make music, like hours can just kind of go by without you knowing,
Oh yeah,
Right.
indeed. Because you're
right?
into making that music. You ain't
Yeah,
watching the
yeah,
clock. Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
get
you
you.
know, here's the thing, dude. My wife like was our biggest fan, and she loved the music that she made, so she literally didn't care.
Right. Yeah.
But now you see what I mean from the like, okay, if I'm away from her,
hmm
she's fine with it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because she likes what I'm doing when I'm away from her.
Right.
It's compatibility, and I think the problem here is that once again, if we're choosing the wrong inputs in
hmm
terms of in terms of how it is that a person becomes attractive to us, then what
Mhm.
happens is we ignore the actual inputs that we really need to be paying attention to, and that
Indeed.
largely has to do with like lifestyle compatibility, right?
hmm
Like if I like I said, if I back in the day, it was the studio. Now it's the shop. For what
Right.
I do now I build, I tinker, I make shit, I fabricate shit and all that, right? She
hmm
wouldn't even have a problem with me doing that because that bike I showed her earlier, that it
hmm
would make her panties wet,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
It's the end result of what it is that I do at the time away from her. She goes, "Oh my god, that's what you were doing,
Yeah.
huh?" Right?
Yeah.
So I've always valued compatibility in that regard because that eliminates a lot of that discord in the I wonder what he's doing right now. I wonder what she's doing right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They should intrinsically know.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
intrinsically know.
And the thing about it is, what I didn't know about myself is I'm an inherent handyman. I try to do shit on my own, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when it comes to unclogging, the plumbing here in the crib, in the toilets and whatnot, or under the sink, I see where the they have these little rings where you can open it up and separate the pipes and stuff to
Hey,
drain
wait,
it and
wait,
all that
hold on,
type
you
of shit.
guys, hold on. Did the
Okay,
did the live stream stop?
did it?
No, it still
No,
says it's live on my end.
it's
Is it
still
still is it
going.
still live?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
still
it's
live.
still on.
On
Yeah.
YouTube. On YouTube.
Let me check. 1 second.
What the hell?
Oh wow, why would that?
Uh,
What
yeah, it's
happened?
still live on YouTube.
So you good?
Okay, yeah, I was just one. Okay, now I refreshed it. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's still live on YouTube.
I don't
Okay,
know.
all right. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was weird. Okay,
yeah,
we're live. All right.
yeah. I'm just saying that
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm an inherent handyman. So when it comes to, draining, cleaning the pipes, getting all the hair and all that type of goop out of the pipes, I take the pipes apart. I clean that shit out. I clean the pipes out, with some hot soapy water, and some type of cleaning brush. Then I put the stuff back together,
Mhm.
problem solved, I mean, I don't need, in other words, like a lot of men, I don't need maintenance men to do every little job like that, If
Yeah.
it's something major, yeah, of
Then
course,
yeah,
I'm
you got
gonna
to
call the
get
plumber.
an electrician or somebody
Yeah,
in, of
yeah, yeah,
course.
exactly. But
Yeah.
but little stuff like that, um, I do that myself. Do it and get it done. Problem solved. Live to see another day. Live to
Hmm.
flush the toilet one more time.
I mean, yeah, man. No, that's that. I don't know, man. I think also, I think what would also help in the experience field. Let's just say with regards to like men, right? And we can
Mm,
actually split this and go both ways with men and women, right? So like with men, I think
yeah,
at a certain point, I think men have to become handy. I think at a
yeah,
certain point, man, like a man he should have tools,
yeah.
right?
Well,
And
I
understand
got mine.
like yeah, and understand basic shit, right?
Yeah.
Like just basic electronics,
Yeah.
how to fab up something simple, build a fucking
Yeah.
table. That's not a hard thing to do.
Well, shit,
Right.
I'll give y'all a good one. Like, even like my fire alarm, it was beeping for fucking months, right?
hmm
And people were like,
Yeah.
well, what's going on? I was like, yo, I did everything. I changed the battery. I changed the machine. Now I live in an apartment complex, so they have the actual red fire alarm that sticks to the wall.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
people for
okay. Yeah.
months were like, well, what's going on? So
Mm,
finally I called maintenance. I was like, look, can you come check it out? So he came, he was like, yeah, I changed the battery, it stopped beeping, let me wait. So he waits and it starts beeping again. Come to find out, they actually had to reset the entire
Entire
apartment
system.
complex system.
Mm.
So I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm handy, trust me, I know what the fuck I'm doing, I know it's beeping, but there ain't shit I could do about that. I can't set an apartment complex.
Right.
But
Yeah.
again, it's experience. It's been a running joke in the YouTube space for months, and I've been like, look, I'm
You
a
can't
very
do nothing
handy
about
person.
it though.
Hearing that
Yeah.
little beep in the background, they're like,
Yeah.
Lonzo, change your battery.
I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I changed it. I changed the machine and everything. I don't know what's going on. Then finally the guy came and he was like, dude, we have to reset the entire
God
building.
damn.
Wow.
Well, wait. Does it? Because does it have the sprinkler system inside?
Yes.
That's why. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
I
why.
get
Because
it now, yeah.
the sprinkler system is so okay. It's how they kind of route this shit, right? So there's the alarm system inside, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
then there is also the sprinkler systems that the sprinkler system that's connected to the building alarm system.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the internal one also is connected to it, right? So if that one's beeping, it could be because of the greater one. Because let's just say if there's a fire right above Alonzo, his shit's gonna
Right.
kick on.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're probably gonna catch some. Probably gonna catch a sudden shower too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. You have a sprinkler
Yeah.
system in there, right, for the building. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a whole sprinkler system and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, I was pissed myself because I was like, okay, maybe am I less of a man? Like I know I changed this shit. I was
Yeah.
starting to doubt myself. Then finally, when he came, I was like, I knew it wasn't me, but you know, it's difficult to explain. But I think yes, men should be handy. I have a little toolkit. I used to be a lot more handy, but
Right.
ever since I got into sales, I have a running joke with my family. They're like, "Oh, you don't do physical labor. We'll have someone else."
Yeah. See, that's messed up, dude. Like,
But you tell them damn straight, this is my hustle. Shit, this is my cash flow you talking
like, no, you
about.
used to know, you like, man. Because look, I'll be like, you think I can't get physical when need be?
Yeah,
Right.
Like, don't like, come on, don't judge me how I get based on how I get my paper.
Yeah.
nah, I ain't worried about it. It's all
Nah,
in good
I
fun.
know. I'm just
Yeah.
It's funny
Listen,
though.
you know what? The same scenario, Alonzo. Believe it or not, man. I was living in North Click, okay, North Carolina with my grandma, right?
Mhm.
And okay, so I went to the military, right? I came back. I was on leave before going to Marine Security Guard School. Okay, and so I came over to the crib, right? And my grandmother, my aunt, and my younger cousin all lived in the same crib. Okay, now I came over there, right? I got my GH Bass tassel loafers on, all shined up spiffy and burgundy. I got on a white pair of like khaki type jeans, and I got on it's a real pale, like salmon colored, pink colored shirt on, right? Because I'm starting the profile because I'm chilling, and I'm riding with mom, right? So I step into the crib, right? And the first thing my aunt says when she sees me looking, she looks at me, she said, "Damn, you look like you don't want to, you look like you don't want to work no more." I said, "Listen, auntie," "Auntie, come on now, stop it. I'm chilling." Okay, I'll do work. If grandma wants me to do work, I'll do it. If you ask me to do some job over here, I'll do it. I just change up clothes. That's all. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
I don't know, man. It is what it is. But I do think every man does need to have some form of handiness to him.
Yep.
Well, I agree. I agree.
It's because, as men, well, I think it's naturally in us to tinker. Like, if you
Yeah.
ask my grandmother, she'll tell you I should be some kind of computer engineer because since like 5 years old, I would take apart my Nintendo and put it back together. You know, um,
hmm
I
Yeah.
guess I'm telling my age. I'm a young buck, but
Yeah.
you know,
Hey, ain't nothing
hey,
wrong
I'm
with a
almost
young buck,
40, man.
man. Enjoy it while you got it. You hear?
I'm almost 40, man. I'm loving this. And I heard that life don't start till you 40. I thought I was done at 30.
No,
But
dude, look, let me tell you something, Alonzo. The thing about it is, man, if you can hold your frame in terms
Yeah.
of like your youthful disposition,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
it's awesome because
Oh,
it's like
indeed. Yes.
you've got all the experience, the wisdom, and the knowledge, but you've
Mhm.
maintained your youthful exterior.
Mm.
It
And you know what
literally
you?
puts you. I noticed this, right? It
Yeah.
puts you in a people look at you differently, dude. Like I'm
Indeed.
44, bro. Every time I go out,
Dude, I wouldn't believe that.
okay, this is what I'm talking. That's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about.
Well, guess how you think? How old do you think I am?
I think you're in your 40s.
I would,
No. Now you know what? I'm kicking 60 in the ass, man. I'm
What?
58.
yeah, I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
thought
I
Eric was
was
in his
about
50s,
to
dude.
brag
Yeah,
about being the oldest but youngest on the panel, and then you said that.
yeah. But wait a minute, Eric just a little while ago was talking about eating raw nuts and
Yeah.
Yeah,
trail
I
mix
do
stuff
that
like
though. I
that.
enjoy it.
There
Yeah.
you go. But see, that's what keeps us like as black men. This is how we
Mm,
can maintain like our youthful exterior. It is
yeah.
literally by like doing things to maintain it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very
Right.
easy for us to maintain our frame if we
Mm,
literally are doing things like being active, you know,
yeah.
doing things like taking on projects where it involves you to like
Hmm.
commit like a large level of concentration, using tools, measuring,
Mm,
all this shit like
yeah.
it builds intrinsic aspects of you.
Yeah. And you
Right.
know
It's what
what?
keeps you sharp.
The public transportation system here is so sufficient, man. They run by schedules here. You hear what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If the train if the board says that the train is leaving in 6 minutes and you come in 6 minutes 30 seconds, guess what you see? You see the metro pulling out the station. You waiting for the
Ghost,
next one. You hear what I'm saying?
ghost
So
You
and
talking
I
to New
use
York?
no, I'm talking here in Helsinki,
in
Finland, where I
Helena,
live.
Finland.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, I
was
mean
like, New
it's
York ain't like that. They tell you
no,
the train coming in 6 o'clock, 6:30. The train already just coming in.
yeah. But yeah, so I use public transportation a lot. Damn near
Mm.
everywhere I go in Helsinki, I use public transportation because the system works so well. I can rely on it almost like a clock, unless it's an
Hmm.
emergency situation, or it's the middle of winter and we got knee deep snow and shit. That snow also is going to fall on the tracks, when it's riding above ground on the L
Hmm.
system there. So they made the maintenance trains may have to come out and they have to clear away the snow off the tracks or something like that. But that's a rare thing, and they're prepared for that. They got the equipment for that and the manpower to do that, you know. But using public transportation, that means I got to walk. Sometimes I got to run. Sometimes I got to hop, skip, and jump onto the streetcar, the tram. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
catch that bus as it pulled away from the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? I put my hands up. I run across the street, put the hands up, and take a chance of getting smashed by running in front of the bus.
Yeah.
And he lets me on, looking at me like, you lost your mind, man. I almost smashed you.
Mhm.
Hey, let me hey, real deal. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome.
Real deal. What's up, kid?
What's
Man,
going on?
Salute, real
everything's
deal.
good. Everything's cool.
Ooh, real deal.
Shalom.
Yeah,
Shalom. Shalom.
Wow.
glad you could
No,
join us, bro. What's going on
Uh,
with
I just finished my breakfast. In my
What?
Jay-Z
no.
voice. I had to finish my breakfast.
It's
I
almost
told you. I
noon.
told the homie Scrap to finish his breakfast. He did, and then I told him to hop up here with us.
Yes, yes, yes. But
Did you have
everything is
breakfast or did
good.
you have brunch?
I was gonna say, man, it's a little late for breakfast, ain't it?
Hey,
Man,
Complex is
don't
out in
bang on me,
Cali
man.
too. A real deal.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. But we do call it brunch, though. At least we used to call it brunch when you have breakfast after 10 in the morning. We call it brunch. That's
Man,
all.
I'm dealing with East Coast time, man. I got a lot of clients that's in the East Coast, but
Okay. Mhm.
but when it comes to this complex, I'm literally just coming in. So if I ask a question that literally has nothing to do with the topic,
Well,
just
real deal. Let me do this. We're talking about the importance of always like contextualizing conversations that you have Like, especially like, I mean, now the
Yes, sir.
conversation obviously it's extended outward, right? Because now we're talking about application to our daily lives, right? But it started as a conversation about how we speak to people in the social media space, especially when we're trying to have conversations about. Wait, I don't know if that's me. Hold on.
Wait a minute, is that me?
There's an echo, but let me see if that's me. Because sometimes it could be the music I have playing in the background. Let me do this. Then I'm gonna do this. Let's see here. Share entire screen.
Well, just to interject,
Go ahead.
ironically enough, and I think Reigning Woman was actually speaking about this as well. Men in the Black Brain Trust are doing things behind the scenes. So, Real Deal, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and spill.
Go ahead.
Real Deal and I are also working on some deals behind the scenes. Just, if anybody speaks to me, I'm probably working with them on a panel. I'm probably working with them in real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it should be.
I'm also working with Real Deal Financial.
See?
Hey, Rain Woman.
Yeah.
That's my baby blue right there. That
That's
voice is sweet
what's
as
up.
honey.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm real glad to hear that. But Real Deal, like, so it's like we were speaking on this experience thing, right? And so like I'm able to check in on the live streams that you have on occasions, like when I got the free time, right? And so what you do is you're literally pulling up homes, right? You're doing these searches. You're literally doing it real time. So it's like you're literally speaking from experience, and you're showing, right? And so what we're talking about here is valuing this type of discourse and dialogue in this space here we call Black YouTube manosphere, whatever the hell, as opposed to the hypothetical shit. Like, let me ask you something, dude. Do you like to deal with facts, figures, numbers, data, statistics, or someone's theoretical opinion on some things as it relates to your profession? Which one do you prefer?
It's statistics, because I can be able to get the nuances after I crunch the statistics and the numbers.
There
So
you
it could be able to help me be able to understand the real world concept, because a lot of people like to do stuff by the hip, and usually when they do by the hip, it's the real life, it's what they see. And a lot of times people use information that's 20, 30 years ago that was valid, but now has evolved. And now the players has changed, and now the system has changed. Not the system has changed, but the market. The system usually stays the same. The system stays the same. The market and the players just change. So I rather deal with numbers, facts, graphs, statistics, the range, the range of timeline. Stuff like that is vital. I can't run the 1990s data, the go-go economy data. I can't do that.
Or somebody's opinion, or like their let's just say their uninformed opinion, right? Like sans any data or statistics or numbers or anything like that. It's just somebody just kind of telling you something about the real estate market, right? Where as soon as they say it, it goes into your ear, and you compute that based on what you know. You go, okay, that's not checking out.
Or I'm gonna have to get some nuanced people, like new people that are in specific markets. Like, they could give me the rundown, and I can understand this is how we do things here. Literally clap their hands. This is how we do things here. Pretty much use your big brain to get us certain things in warp speed. But we got to be able to make sure that one, chill out, because people in the West Coast is cool, man. People in the West Coast, we all sound like we just got done smoking some weed. Everybody in the East Coast don't.
A little while ago, and I'm going to step away in a second and do it again.
So when it comes to this, man, we always laid back. People in the East Coast, they protectionist, that strong protectionist shit. But it's useful when it comes to negotiating, because you don't offer your first price first. So it works.
Real Deal. Let's tell them some real life experience. Because I take offense to that East Coast guy. No, I'm just messing with you. No, he literally experienced it today. So, prime example, what you were saying. I used to do real estate. I actually still have my license in New York City. Real Deal actually contacted me with a deal in New York City. And when he explained the price, the first thing I said to him, "That's bullshit, man." Uh, and he was like, "I don't know." So now, after doing further research, um, we found more realistic numbers. We actually are now moving forward with this, and the next step is I, with Real Deal on the line, called one of my small hats. And luckily, due to this actually speaks to experience, I could tell that Real Deal didn't have much experience dealing with aggressive East Coast small hats, because he was going to give him some information that would have helped the small hat, but not us. So I was like, "Oh, hold on. Yeah, look, here's how much the person wants. I have control of the deal." Boom. And then the guy was ready. So now we're going to end up closing on that. And Real Deal, like I said, we're going to make sure you get paid.
So when it comes to that, literally, I'm a person where I'm not emotional. I try to literally calm my emotions down. Like I have my father in my life. So, he's always like a stream refuge. He's like my rock when it comes to aspects of discipline. I can get mad. I can turn up, but it's not time to turn up. It's time to be the smartest person. It's time to be the smartest person with the quietest mouth, where I'm going to put all my smartness in market research and try to be able to get good, strong entries in negotiating, how to be able to be an indispensable asset without giving too much game. So that's literally what Lonzo was pretty much saying. Don't give too much information. Learn how to be able to keep it in your pocket. But I'll mute.
I can't wait till we close this deal. I'm going to come on YouTube and be like, "Listen, me and Real Deal did it. Hopefully this will be a nice chunk of change. I'm going to try and increase my fee from 20 to 50. So there's some meat on the bone to give you."
Hey, man. That's see. I like to be just give it like how James Prince, when he does interviews, it'd be like very cut straight to the point, and if it's some DJ Vlad type interview questions, it's open ended.
Yeah.
I like to be able to at least have a good response when it comes to this, because we're about to blitz. Like before I was cooking my breakfast, when I was still talking to you, we had like 2 more people that was in Boston that was literally super excited. Like
Yeah.
they're just super excited about Boston. So I need to get myself Boston literate, New York literate, Texas literate, and I already got Gilbert, Arizona pretty much on understanding, and Scottsdale has a lot of good deals too.
Really?
Yep.
Scottsdale, Arizona got a lot of good deals.
Arizona's booming. The EV sector, I think I was talking to Real Deal and Alonzo about this on a previous stream, but that Arizona's got Lucid and a few other EV related things going on, right, in a major way. So there's a burgeoning tech presence in Arizona, starting to bubble up too. Saudis dumped a lot of money into that plant that they're building out in Casa Grande. I think it was like $2 billion or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when it comes to that, it's just really, it's really to figure out what's jobs numbers. I'm gonna look at more jobs numbers to be able to see what has the most job increase, to be able to see population growth usually. And if it's California population growth, y'all taking y'all 825,000 houses from Encino and literally going to Scottsdale, Arizona and getting a house for 350, or Phoenix. Paradise Valley is nice, but Paradise Valley is expensive.
Yeah.
Speaking of 350, Real Deal, when we hop off this, we're going to call the lady.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because, I don't want that small hat to do what I told you he's going to do.
Well, you want me to get on the call? Because I got more things to tackle.
Well, it's the introduction, right? So you know your person, So what will happen is we'll come to her as a team. Hi, this is so and so and my colleague. So I'm not like, hey, my colleague's girlfriend. No, it's just, hey, listen, my so and so. Boom, boom, boom. And then you don't have to do much of the speaking, but you're there. The reason I also want you there is, like I said, I need you to learn this stuff. So through osmosis, you're going to get my, like I said, I'm a Manhattan realtor. So I'm super aggressive, right? I'm much more aggressive than anybody you're going to meet in California. Well, maybe not in those. Yeah. Okay, complex.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm more aggressive than your average Californian realtor. But your guys like Josh Flagg and the $1 Million House, those guys are super aggressive too. But they ain't coming to New York and playing with us. We're gonna run them over. We gotta keep our reputation. But as far as the New York market goes, real deal, you're very well versed. The market that is different is New York City. New York City is its own country.
Damn, its own country.
It is. Listen, if you live in New York City, you don't consider any of the rest of the state of New York, New York. It's considered upstate. Am I right, Eric?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, but the rest of New York is, like every town in America, whereas NYC is it's NYC. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rainey.
I don't know what I was going to say. I apologize. I'm also working on a couple of things while I'm here trying to finish up some. Yeah, so please forgive me.
No, you're all good. Here's what I'm gonna do. Damn, real deal. You came in. We can maybe rock another 20 because we're at about an hour and a half. My daughter has an early out. She gets out of school literally in less than an hour.
Okay.
Complex's beautiful daughter, that is his beautiful daughter. His beautiful, smart, creative, attentive, nurturing, girly daughter. Okay, carry on.
No,
Complex. I'll stop by the shop today too, just so you know, because yesterday I couldn't. The weather was insane.
No, you're good. You said you're going to stop by?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by before he closes. He closes in another hour, so I want to catch him. Hopefully our guy is there.
Okay.
And then I'll show him that.
I sent you the prototype.
Yep.
Let him know, like, that's what he said he wanted electric mid-drive, electric road bike, right?
Yep.
Just built one.
Yeah. And guys, so big deal. I'm trying to put this shit in Yale.
We're on the outside of this YouTube shit. Okay, I don't want to hear about what it is that brothers don't do. We try to hold our tongues from saying what it is that we are doing out here.
Yes, and sisters, we're trying to part as well. Thank you. Carry on.
Go ahead, Alonzo, you got it.
So I'm trying to put this in Yale. So it actually, like Complex was saying, we're tired of hearing what we're not doing versus what we actually are. Now, Raining, I will say that often we do give credit to sisters, and we need to. But here's the problem that I have with a lot of the brothers. Like, a lot of the brothers were upset with Goldman Sachs giving $10 billion to sisters, as if they were just giving it to the sisters, and as if the sisters don't have men who are going to be like, "Hey, baby girl, let me flip that for you." But I digress. What I've noticed, and this actually occurred in New York City. I was working on 40 Exchange Place, which is Wall Street, at a factoring company. So business to business cash advance. I was a company that would call you, "Hey, you broke, you need some money for your business?" And I was selling money. There was literally a gentleman who worked with me who was a felon. And when you're a felon, you're not supposed to be able to work in white collar. But I found out that all the people that I was working with outside of me were felons. And then I said, well, how is this possible? Well, the Russian gangster who was a felon decided that he wasn't making enough money where we were, and he liked my style. So he offered me double what they were paying me an hour. So I left. But how did he start this company? Well, his wife got the loan and put the company in her name, but he ran it. So why can't we do that, gentlemen, with this Goldman Sachs money?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we have to realize that we kind of got to take the helm as men, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when it comes to we ask for following, or, you know, for lack of a better term, submission. Now, again, I'll use my wife as an example. She is in a very high-powered position in the federal government. So she has to be very masculine at work. But when it comes to our relationship, my own mother says she's not just demure, but too demure, as if she's just mousy and I walk all over her. Now, my wife did snap back at my mother and was like, respectfully, I'm married, you're not. But we got to realize, if we come with a plan, men, and we can show, look, I'm not bankroll fresh right now. I ain't got billions of dollars, but I have an idea. I have a plan. I have resolve. I will stick to it, and come hell or high water, I'm going to make sure to take care of the plan. That woman will, quote unquote, submit. She will follow. She will get on your game plan. But Real Deal and I were talking about this earlier. We have to be concise. And like you said, with experience, they're not experiencing that we're leading or have a plan. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have one.
Right.
And then the willingness you'll see it. Even Reigning Woman up here with us, she's absolutely in her femininity because she's on a panel with men who have a plan. Even though she has no clue what the plan is, she can see clearly and concisely.
She actually does. Actually, she does, and I think that's what it is that she can see it. It's when you have a vision, and then there are those who can see your vision because you're committed to it. Okay, like that. It's like, okay, talking it is one thing. Living it and doing it,
Right.
Well, I was talking about when my mother said that she. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Wait, Lonzo muted. Oh, okay. It's
no,
one
my
thing
wife came in and heard me talking about her. I said, yes, I was talking about you. I was explaining the situation with my mother. She's like, hold on, what you talking about me?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Set the record straight now.
She said she came in here for a kiss.
No, that's what's up, man.
Hold on, y'all.
To wifey, man. Shout outs to her, bro. You know. But,
Indeed.
you know, it's like you put it out there, and if you can see like where the vision's going, right? Like you see results, you see products that are being created, services that you're launching. You see all these different things. Hell, even, you know, one indicator of shit, what it is that I've been doing is, well, this channel's largely been quiet for the last couple months, right? But then I show you guys a picture of a goddamn prototype e-bike we just built, and you want to know where the time went?
Yeah.
Want to know why I haven't been around on YouTube and shit?
Directly to that.
Directly.
I mean, who can't figure that out when you showing the product right there? Hey, we made this. It's like this. It's like this. It's like that. You broke it down, how you made it, and everything. I mean, you have to be. You really would have to be really dull in the mind not to understand the connection there. You know.
Yeah. So, you know, that's really just the theme of what we wanted to talk about here with this one, man, was just kind of, you know, being experience based, right? It enables us to be taken more seriously, not only just like in our personal lives, but out in the real world, dude. Like, you know, like I could be, you know, it's like brothers like us, you know, or largely looked at as cocky, arrogant, or some shit like that, right? When the reality is just no. We stand firm on what we know.
Mm-hmm. It's
right?
like when
So what you hear in our voice and in our inflection, in our tone when we talk, is confidence based on a backing of knowledge and experience.
yeah. It's like when I came here, right? When my wife asked me, she said, Eric, um, I want to marry you and I want to be your wife and the mother to your children, but I don't want to go live in the States. I really don't. Would you be willing to start life over again here in Finland, right? Now, my eyes got wide. I got kind of nervous too. I'm like, wow, damn. I'm in a country 6,000 miles away from the land of my birth. I got to learn new culture. I got to learn a new language. I got to reinvent myself because I'm coming out of the military. Because when I came here as a Marine security guard working at the American Embassy on post, and now I got to make that military mindset work for me in the civilian sector. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so what I ended up doing was I ended up going to a polytechnic over here to learn caring services, right? Taking care of the sick and infirm. That was my job. That's what I studied. Now going into school after being out of school for 20 years and then going back and realizing that now not only can I not write on pen and paper in cursive or in print, no, everything's got to be word processed, and there's a certain way in which you have to organize your writings or you just flunk out. And so they gave a basic course of how to do word processing and how to put your essays together and whatnot. Because after every learning cycle, you got to write an essay, and you have to write it in a way that you're telling your tutor that you understand all the study you were doing. You have some concept of why you're studying that and what it's about. And man, having to do that, having to run from library to library to do research and shit, gather up books and get all this information and put it together in a logical manner after not doing it for 20 years, man, that shit was no joke. But I said, hey, well, this is what I got myself into. This is what I got to do. Got to make those ducats. That means that I got to have the education to do this, to show the skills to make them ducats. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you deal with what life throws at you, right? And what you don't do is,
Yeah.
default to, something that's not going to produce the results that you want in life. It's sort of like you have to do what's required, man. It's like I don't know, you can't. It's just in my head, I can't conceptualize living hypothetically in a very real world. Hey, Jonathan, can you post something in the chat, dude? So I want to make sure you're modded. Can you?
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay, so Zoe, I just called her. She understands the script. She knows you exist.
Okay, so you don't need me to call her when
No. We'll still run the same play. I'll just add her to the call.
Oh, this is your significant other.
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, once we finish here, let's link up, and I will, like I said, the script is basically I'll just do the talking, but since she has the relationship, she does the introduction. We're gonna ask the lady what she wants, what her situation is. We're gonna basically ask her everything my small hat asked me.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So I did comment something in the chat. So
You're
yeah,
good.
I
I got you
called her.
modded, bro. You're good.
I called her. So pretty much everything is ready on script, on flow. So yeah, man, let's get this bad boy in, man. Let's lock this
Hey,
motherfucker
oh look,
in.
I ain't gonna keep y'all, man. Go ahead and go get your paper. Let's get final words because I got to go get my daughter here in a few minutes myself.
All
All
right,
right,
cool.
definitely.
Okay.
You know my thing, man. Wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.
Exactly.
Go,
Salute.
Eric.
Yeah, man. So pretty much, I say be very tactical on all of your intentions. Always understand how to leverage certain connections. Always be very good to people that are good to you. And also understand how to be able to look at different markets and look at different nuances in the market. And we also need to have a tech talk because automation stocks and cybersecurity
Yeah,
stocks has
we'll
been
get
up.
that. We'll get that one going, dude. Because, dude, I got so much shit to dump on people just from the IoT space. Like that's basically what my company's in, micro mobility, and we're talking. Well, like I said, the last couple of live streams that we did that were tech related, I went real deep on it, and I showed like some of our own shit. And then I was told to kind of scale back, but I think what we'll do is we'll kind of just make it more of a general conversation. But like IoT and all that stuff, that all is covering automation and everything because it's coming. It's coming. Not to get a whole different conversation going, but with all these people walking off the jobs over mandates and things of that sort, I'm seeing other companies like they're queuing up to go ahead and just bring in the robots. So we do have to have that conversation.
Hey, Complex, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Are you still doing work on the continent?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember last time you were talking about that.
Yeah. It was the coding part of the coding team for our rideshare app is in Kenya. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do your thing, man. Do what you do.
Hey, well, I'm doing it, but it's an extension of this right here, right? So it's us.
Right.
This is a reflection of us.
Right on.
Yeah. This reigning woman.
Keeping in line with today's theme, being
Reigning
mindful
woman.
of, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Reigning woman, also contact me as well.
Okay,
When you
great.
got some time, definitely contact me as well. I could give you some good information. And you and Mrs. Tara, she got some leads from Chicago Title.
Okay, awesome. Keeping in line with today's theme, be mindful of being socially responsible online, but as you are offline, and being responsible for yourself. Thank you.
All
Salute.
right.
Couldn't say anything better myself. Hey, I'm gonna say it like this, Complex. I'm keep it short and sweet, man.
Yep. Go
Thanks
ahead.
for letting me up. It's good hearing your voice. Good to rap with you again. And
Absolutely, bro. Same.
but you
Same.
know what?
Likewise.
The next time, when you I understand the tech talking things, but I want to see your garden again.
Oh shit, man. You know we're in late fall, well, mid fall, and everything is kind of. Well, you know what I got to do is we got to get the winter garden going. I got busy, man, with just this stuff. But
Right.
it's actually the time to start planting winter greens right now.
Right. Yeah.
So you know what? Let me. I think we'll start doing that next weekend.
Okay.
I'll
cool.
start
That
getting some
works.
content going on the winter garden because I got to get it going. The last thing we got sprouted and growing was the mangoes,
Oh, nice,
which
man.
is with that plant is starting to bush out. So I'll probably make a video on that today, just show everybody the mango plant because
Oh,
that was
okay.
grown out of seeds bought at a store.
Right.
Yeah, my
Cool.
daughter did it, man.
Nice, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll come through with some gardening content for you here real shortly, bro.
Okay, cool. That'll work.
All right,
All right.
all right,
Well,
y'all. Well, look. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
in the meantime, in between time, salute, man. Do what you
Salute,
do
bro.
and be safe
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there, man.
We'll pick this up. We'll pick up the live streams going forward, man. I said, man, my attention pivoted, and I just
Right.
got all about this EV shit.
Man, listen, man. Make that paper, man. You hear?
Yeah, we're working on it, bro. We're working on it.
All right, man.
All right,
Salute.
man.
See ya.
Salute,
All
bro.
right.
All right, and I want to thank everyone for rolling through. Lonzo, MOT, Eric, Miss Raining Woman, Real Deal Financial. I also want to, welcome some of the new people that came through. Let's see, top me nigga. You tropic proximate niggas. Oh shit. Oh man. Hey man, look, Blaze. It's the reason why I tell my daughter, like, as much as we can go around and travel and everything. I'm like, babe, I cannot. I lived in Chicago for 3 years, bro, and it was really hard for me to do because I'm used to a moderate subtropical temperature year round, and I can't do extremes, man. I don't know. I ain't built for it, bro. But I do want to thank everybody for rolling through. Y'all know how the conversations go here. We really try to take a higher perspective on things, man. Really try to crack nuggets and find that goal. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back soon. I'm not gonna let another 3-month hiatus go on after this live stream. I promise. But I got a little one. Uh, I'm, I'm watching my babies die right now. What babies, man? What kind of plants you growing, dude? You might have to put them if well, you can make like literally like a little tarp structure, and if you put I know this is gonna sound crazy, but if you make like a little tarp tent, right, and then you put like literal like manure, like like fertilizer manure, and you put it in like these mounds inside of a covered tent, right, and then you put your plants in there. The manure has live organic organisms and enzymes in it that give off heat. So if you keep a tent over your plants in the winter and you stick manure inside of it, like let's just say if the temperature outside is like 5 or 10 degrees, if you take the temperature inside the tent, it'll probably be about 30, 35. And that's like kind of like one of the secrets to growing plants in the winter is you got to have it in an enclosure with like some organic material like manure that like actually as it decomposes it actually gives off heat. So just yeah, microbial action will create heat. There you go. So if you just trap it like in like either a greenhouse or like a little grow tent or something like that, shit, you can grow pretty much anything in the winter. All right, so that's our little gardening tip for today. Tomatoes, okra, and ooh, tomatoes, bro. Yeah, that's going. Yeah, the cold tomatoes don't really like the cold too much. Now, okras and peppers, like I said, if you can keep them warm, they're good. Yeah, compost heat. Yeah, dude. If you just get that compost and you just put it in something that's like an enclosure type of thing, it'll trap that heat, man. The plants they'll love it. Okay, I got to get going, man. I got to go pick the little one from school, and I got daddy duties, and I got my business call here in an hour. All right, appreciate y'all for following through, man. Peace.